Man, I hope you get what I'm going to be talking about on today's video. I hope somebody gets what I'm going to be talking about on today's video. Because this lesson I just thought about today, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. But before we jump into it, let's do what we normally do. I gotta let you know, just in case you didn't know, my name is Rob Moore, award-winning author, leadership expert, and founder of therobmoore.com. And I'm hoping, oh goodness, I hope the mic's on. Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna edit it out. We'll just keep it going. But once again, my name is Rob Moore, award-winning author, leadership expert, and founder of therobmoore.com. And I help people show up, step out, and shine, no matter where they are or what they do, to create more leaders in the world. And I want to welcome you back to my Words of Wisdom series. This is episode number 31. And here's the words of wisdom for today. Work on yourself. Listen. This is episode number 31, right? We've talked about a lot of different things, that you can do to change your life. Specifically, a lot of things. But if you want to make things really simple, really, really easy, focus on this one thing. Work on yourself. Now, before you can really start to work on yourself, I highly recommend that you figure out what your goals are if you have not already done so. I want you to figure out where you want to go. What do you want your life to look like? And what's most important when you're doing this whole process is I want you to take the limits off. I want you to forget about everything that you've seen out there. I want you to forget about all your weaknesses and all of that stuff. I just want you to really go for what it is that you want. And once you figure out what it is that you really want, and you start to set some goals to start to work towards, in order to achieve those goals, you got to become a certain person in order to achieve those goals. And I was just messing around on the internet today, and I saw this little message, work on yourself, come up, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, this is so important, for people to realize and people really to get. And I really like to go back, really back, at the very beginning, of my career. And my story, hopefully you do. If you don't, go back and watch some of my other videos and you'll learn. I got tons of stuff on my YouTube channel. But I remember my first major success, I graduated from high school, made a lot of mistakes, didn't really know what I wanted to do in my life, did not have any idea what I wanted to do, had no idea where I wanted to go. Ignored the mistakes that I made, went out, partied, had a lot of fun, did a lot of stupid things, did a lot of wild things. Yeah, a lot of wild things. And, I did that for a year, and things did not work out for me. And I finally realized, that I had to really sit down and figure out, where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And I needed to stop making all these excuses and blaming my parents and blaming this person and blaming that person, for where I was at that point in my life. And once I finally decided, that I wanted to just start to do the right thing, eventually, I started to get, some goals in line. And I remember my first big goal was to have a really good career with Price Chopper. That was my first big major goal after high school. And once I set that goal, I immediately started to take action. And when I was in that process of taking action, I was all right, I kept asking myself, well, what can I do right now in order to help me get from where I am to where I want to go? Like, this is where I am right now, you know. How do I get this career with Price Chopper? Like, how do I get there? I kept asking myself, how do I get there? What can I do right now? What can I do right now? And then I kept like, I didn't learn this. I just kept asking myself that question, and eventually, you know, I started to realize that, you know, there were certain things that I could do better on the job in order to help me get there. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like, so I was like, all right, well, what kind of things can I do? Like, all right, well, if somebody calls off and they need somebody to fill in the shift, why don't I volunteer? Not only why don't I volunteer, why don't I always volunteer so that every time they call me, I come in and they know that I'm going to come in. So that's a good thing. You know, it's going to get me more hours, and it's also going to build a positive reputation for myself, you know, in order to advance my career. You know, if they needed me to stay, like, I would always stay. I remember there was times where I'll be at work, I would have plans like that night to like go out, you know, with my friends or something like that, and like they would need me to stay, or they would want me to come back and pick up an extra shift, and then I would do it because I felt like that became more important to me than, you know, going out, because I was focused on the goal of like developing this career. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm telling you is, you got to work on yourself. Like, that's what I did. Like, I continually worked on myself. So I kept thinking like, well, all right, this is how I deal with customers. How can I become even better with customers? And I started to work on that. I worked on my customer service skills. I remember when I was in the seafood department at that time, that's where I was when I made this decision of what I really wanted to do with my life. I was working in the seafood department, and I've always, you know, I figured, I was like, wait a minute, if I want to get a bigger career and a better career with this company, well, I need to learn more things. I was like, you know, matter of fact, I need to learn everything. So I was like, all right, I'm in the seafood department. Let me learn everything that I could possibly learn about the seafood department. And I started off by just watching people. I started watching what people were doing in order to learn. And then I would model those things that I saw. I would start to do those things that I saw in order to learn. And then if I had questions on things, I would continually ask questions. I was doing all of these things to work on myself, to make me become a better person so that I can get where I wanted to go a lot faster. It's all about working on yourself. It's all about working on yourself. And then eventually I got up to the point where they started to teach me how to set the display cases. And once I started to learn that skill, I wanted to be the best at setting the cases. I wanted to set better cases than everybody in the department. That is critically important. Like, when it comes to working on yourself, like all the tasks you have to do, all the responsibilities that you do, everything that you do, strive to be the best in it. Work on yourself in order to do that. Working on yourself is probably the most important thing you will do in your entire life. So what I'm saying is, yeah, work on yourself, but how do you do that? I want you to figure out what your goals are, and then I want you to think about the person that you need to become in order to achieve those goals. And when you're thinking about that person you have to become, then you got to start making adjustments in your life and working on certain things in your life in order to become that person. And once you become that person, it's very easy to achieve that goal. So let me give you some other things that you can do. Are there some books that you can read in order to work on yourself? So like, let's say, for example, let's say you want to be a real estate investor one day. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there as an example. Let's say you want to become a real estate investor. One of the quickest, easiest, and fastest and easiest things you can do is pick up books on real estate investing. There's a book out there for everything. Everything. There's like, if there's a problem out there, there's a book out there that you can read in order to solve that problem. If there's something that you want to become, there's a book out there that you can read to help you learn how to become that person. So there's something you can do too. Is there something you can read? Do you know somebody that already has what you want? So you can learn the things that they do and the kind of person that they are in order to become that person a lot easier. There's a lot of different things that you can do, but this, you got to get this. You got to get this. If you want certain things, who you are right now is not necessarily going to get those things. The chances are very high that you're going to have to become something different. You're going to have to become a different person in order to achieve those things that you want. So that's what I say to you today. Those are the words of wisdom. Work on yourself every single day as much as you can. And if you're willing to work on yourself, you can have anything that you want in life. So that's the video for today. If you liked it, please like it. Please share it. Please comment on it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure you visit leaderswhoshine.com and see what cool things I got over there for you. So, my name is Rob Moore, reminding you to show up, step out and shine. Now is your time, so make it shine. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video. Until next time, later.